Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Exeter Planning Board to order of Thursday, March 23rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Nowak Room, and introduce the board. Ask each member to introduce themselves. I'm Langdon Plummer, Chair of the board, and
Nancy Blanchard, Select Board Rep. I can't see if Pete's there. He's supposed to be.
okay,
John
Sorry.
Bruder.
I don't think so.
Aaron Brown,
Vice Chair.
Okay.
Vice Chair.
Thank you.
And Jen Martell?
Okay. Excuse
He doesn't appear to be
First
there.
order of business, approval of minutes of March 28th. It's been a little while. We missed 3 meetings because nobody came in, so bear with us.
Oh,
We're happy to break up your banana.
no. Don't say nobody came in. We would have been here. They weren't here. They're the nobody in.
It's amazing how you fill up your time, Christian.
Yeah.
So, minutes of March 28th, 2024.
Yeah. I don't think I had any.
Any comments? Suggestions? Motions?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 28, 2024.
Thank you, John. Second? Second?
Second.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, voice vote will be adequate, so those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Who's this guy?
Oh, he wrote something about himself. Our business tonight is the application of Metros Financial Holdings LLC for site plan review and wetlands and shore condition use permits for the proposed construction of a commercial vehicle storage area, a 22,500 square foot accessory storage building and associated site improvements on the property located at 127 Portsmouth Avenue. The property is located in C2 Highway Commercial Zoning District and is identified as tax map parcel number 52-112-2. So I'd ask Dave, is this case ready to be heard?
In my opinion, it is.
Okay. Like a motion to open this case, please?
So moved.
Second?
Nancy, second? Is that you seconding?
That was me, yes.
Okay, thank you. Voice vote again. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Okay. Dave, would you like to start?
Yeah, but before I start, is Pete, we sent him a Zoom invite. He said he might Zoom in. Is he on the?
They did check and they'll come out if they see him.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, as you stated, the applicant is seeking site plan review, wetland permit, and a shoreline, wetland conditional use permit, and a shoreline permit for the proposed construction of a commercial vehicle storage area, 22,500 square foot accessory storage building and associated site improvements on the property located at 127 Portsmouth Avenue. The applicant met with the Planning Board and the Conservation Commission in June and July of 2023. Came in for a preliminary review for the project prior to moving forward with the full engineered designs. I provided minutes and from those meetings along with the formal application submission. The technical review committee was held on March 7th, and I provided the comment letter and the UEI comment letter, 2 of them, and then a second TRC, we had them come back, was held on April 11th, and I concluded those comment letters, and followed that by a site walk was conducted by the Conservation Commission prior to their May 14th meeting, at which the applicant presented their applications for wetland and shoreline conditional use permits. And at the meeting, it was noted that Underwood Engineers had not been provided with the revised plans for review, and no review comments were available at the time, so the commission requested that the applicant return at a future meeting once the plans have been reviewed by UEI, because initially they were very concerned about the amount of impervious surface area, and then the submittal, I think, just before the meeting, changed it to porous pavement. So they felt that they, needed to come back once they've had a thorough review and can review the changes to the plans. So they, Just one more thing, yeah, the applicant is requesting a waiver from section 7.7 from relief from the requirement to identify significant trees of 20 feet or greater in caliper. Are you still
20
requesting that?
inches.
20 inches, I mean?
No, we had Doucette do that work.
Okay, yeah,
That-
that's right, because we said, we said it's only in the, they made the argument said it's way out all over here, but I said, no, it's just the disturbed area as in the thing, so I guess they're not asking for that waiver anymore. The applicant had acknowledged that both the planning board and the Conservation Commission would like to schedule a site walk to review the current site and discuss the proposed improvements, and I would suggest the board schedule a site walk prior to the next meeting and request that the applicant mark out the important features of the site, because the Conservation Commission was a little confused on where stuff was going, so just have a mark, usually you mark the building corners, the extent of the, pavement toward the resources in question and so forth. So and you can't act on a conditional use permit. One of the criteria is that you can't act until you get written recommendations for the Concom. So you won't receive those until the next meeting. So I think this is a good opportunity to hear the applicant, present it, ask any questions you might have, and then schedule a site walk and table it till I believe they're scheduled for the June, 11th?
11th?
June 11th.
That's a guess?
That is a guess. I'm going to look right now. So you could, June 11th, and we have a meeting on June 13th. So you could table it until, we can talk about that when we get there. That's all I have for now, Mr. Chairman.
Conservation Commission, aware of that date as well? Or are they
June
gonna be
11th?
separate?
Yeah, that's their meeting.
That's their meeting, okay.
Yeah, I think if we schedule a site walk, we will let them know,
Yes,
but I don't want to get into, back and forth of, when
no.
everyone is available. So
Yeah.
once you say a site, you feel like, you want to schedule a site walk and you schedule it, we'll let the Conservation Commission know and Kristen know, so then they can get anybody who wants to go attend it together.
good. Christian, floor is yours.
Good
Welcome,
evening,
by
Mr.
the way.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Christian Smith, engineer with Beals Associates, here to represent the applicants on the project. Tim and Larry Foss are both here with us as well, along with Doug Remore from Jewett Construction. They are actually providing the architectural plans for the project, and my assumption would be they would likely be building the building as well. In any event, just to try and expound and not reiterate everything David just said, you can kind of see the project. So this is the edge of pavement of the existing Foss motors. We're proposing a through road down to the GTE road. Then obviously a connection into this is fairly similar, a little bit pared back from what we presented to you preliminarily in 2023. But limited pavement for the proposed parking, going through the two technical review committee hearings. As Dave had mentioned, we originally had the large under pavement chamber systems for the stormwater. We worked through that with both the TRC and members of Underwood. They felt that the pollutant or nutrient removal of the porous pavement was much better than that of the underground storage. So we have now proposed this entire bit in pervious pavement. Now, the entrances, just because of the turning movements and the wear those are going to take, those are all proposed as conventional pavement.
Yeah.
Then the building is located in this rectangle right here. Just to the south of that is an infiltration / bioretention collection trench that will take all of the roof runoff, plus the pavement coming down from the fire truck turnout. You'll notice in the UEI memo, which we got this afternoon, they talk that there is an overhead door here to enter the building, which obviously, if that would be where loading unloading took place. So we've got to extend this down just a little bit, and obviously extend the pavement up to that door, which obviously is an easy change. We have no problem with that. We have a small bioretention pond in that location, which will largely just take water coming from the GTE road, but we do have an overflow system. The under drains are connected through the gravels and the stone beneath the porous pavement, collected in a main line. We have a catch basin here, catch basin here, catch basin here. We daylight to that point with a large outlet protection, which is just big riprap. It's a standard connection. And then this is an existing pipe that comes out of the stormwater treatment pond up in this location that was, I believe, done for GE years ago. So with all of that, I think that now we have a plan and a stormwater design which meets the town's regulations with regard to pollutant removals, particularly nutrient removal. You can see kind of the edge of tree line here, which is proposed. We do have the Waterworks Pond Road, which goes on out to the gun club and obviously fishing at the reservoir. Just to get you on the ground here, that is the approximate location of the dam from the reservoir. So none of the stormwater from this parcel gets to or is evacuated from into the actual reservoir. Everything is below the reservoir. There's another large municipal pipe down here, which I believe just conveys it around the Waterworks Pond Road. So that is very quickly the proposal. I do have exhibits, but Dave said we're not going to get to the conditional use permits. Those just kind of detail the proposed wetland fills, buffer impacts, and then the shoreline protection zone impacts as well, temporary and the permanent. But we can look at that if you folks want to. There were 2 points remaining in the Underwood letter that we'd like to discuss with you, really specific to traffic exiting out onto Route 33, and then the potential for pedestrian traffic coming from the existing Foss shop into the new display area. But with that, I will leave it to questions, and we can proceed as you see fit.
Okay. Thoughts, questions? John?
Just some background for someone who's only been in town for 9 years. Who was there first, Osram, Sylvania, or the car dealership?
The car deal, I can answer that.
Yeah, come on up, Larry.
Please use the microphone, introduce yourself, so.
The car dealership was put on after Sylvania was put up.
Okay.
Sylvania was put up in 1961. My father and my grandmother sold the property to Sylvania.
Oh, okay.
The dealership is actually built on the farm, the original Foss farm. And across the street is where the lumber yard is, that's where the barn was. And where Allen Street was, that was pasture and stuff. Now, that was before my time.
I was going to say that goes back before my 9 years.
Yeah, no, I can remember back in '61, but that's about it.
So was the dealership now in this land, so you sold them an easement through the property?
No, they owned the property. My son and I just purchased that property back, that frontage. Is that what you're
Oh,
asking?
the frontage that we're talking about now, that.
Yes, that was
So that
purchased back
wasn't
from
yours, it
Sylvania.
wasn't like that was one big lot that was split by the road at one point?
No,
All right.
no.
And then, are there usually cars parked on that road?
There is now.
Yeah, there are. I was wondering why.
We have no room left in our dealership.
Yeah, but these almost look, maybe these are the employees' cars or something.
This is the employees' cars. Yep.
Okay. And Dave, is there any discussion about, now that there's an opening to Holland Way, directing all the traffic that way, or do we, is that the new,
I mean, it's private. Those are all private lots. We had that discussion and encouraged that during the, CA Wakefield and subdivisions. But ultimately, it's up to them. They have an access there.
right, I mean, they would probably need a light or something, so that's a whole nother discussion, but I'm just curious. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
For clarity on the road, is that owned by Sylvania or is that owned by, do they have then a right-of-way over there?
Currently, they have,
Exit-
yeah,
okay.
they have a right of way.
An easement? I guess.
Easement for pass and repass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a private road?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and if they do, I understand that they are trying to get their own cut into Holland Way, their own curb cut. If that takes place, my understanding is they will no longer utilize this. So that is Osram.
They don't really need another cut, right?
Other
I
question?
mean, they could work, I would think, something.
I think they probably could, but, again, that's kind of two private entities
Sure.
battling it out, and from what I understand, it's difficult to get in touch with the Osram higher-ups because they're all in Germany.
Right. This board's pretty quiet tonight. We are in a meeting.
Well, Christian, you brought up something about wanting to talk about some of the Underwood
Yeah, so
comments.
there were, I think, 3 remaining comments from Underwood's original review memo. The two that I wanted to speak of were numbers 16 and 17 on Underwood's current review, page number 2. And essentially, what they're talking about in 16 is having customers come in from the existing dealership to go look at vehicles that may be displayed down here. And, we said we'd discuss this. I think, Tim is quite comfortable that the way it's laid out is perfectly fine. Again, this is a private road. This is not like a high-traffic area. And if it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, but any customer everything is going to happen on the existing Foss dealership. So in other words, if a customer wanted to come down and look at a vehicle on the new display area, they would be accompanied by a salesman. So I just wanted to work through that with you. I mean, their suggestion was, would a crosswalk be justified? Tim has already said he's got no problem painting one across there if you folks think it's necessary. I mean, I think it's just a matter of, paying a little attention as you cross that road if they're leading somebody down there. But again, either way, we're amenable to whatever the board prefers.
Dave?
I have a question, because you just said display area. Display area kind of means that's what your cars that you're selling. I was under the understanding that TRC there's a storage area for extra cars.
Well, they're selling all the cars that they store.
No, I understand that, but, okay, so people will walk to them.
Potentially.
People can walk to them.
Potentially.
Okay,
But
that's
they
what
will
I'm
be-
saying.
They will be accompanied by an employee of
Potentially,
Foss.
yes,
Yeah.
potentially.
Right.
So, I mean, if that's the case, if your business is thriving and you got a bunch of customers and you got a bunch of inventory and you're moving it, that might be a little more active than not. So you might want to anticipate that, right? That would be
Yeah.
the thing to think about, right? Anticipating success and foot
Well, that's
traffic.
the whole reason that they need the new
Yeah,
area.
so who would be driving on that? We're walking as a pedestrian, what would the vehicular traffic consist of, Christian, do you think?
Between the two,
Yeah.
that's really just going to be Tim's staff or somebody that works for Foss, either going to get a vehicle to bring
Yeah.
it back to a customer to test drive or bringing vehicles down after they're offloaded from the big double deckers up at the main dealership.
Okay, so not much different than a parking lot, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Except at 5 o'clock when everyone's leaving Osram. It could be busy.
Sure.
I don't imagine there's much traffic except early.
well, that's the other
First thing
question.
in the day, yeah.
You have a right-of-way that runs with another property owner that the use could change in the future, right? So they do have access there at this point, and that could happen too. So it just depends on, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe the question is, what's the current use? How is it being used today?
Right,
So that's one way it could be used, is the way you're using it today.
right.
The GTE road, you mean, Mr. Plummer?
The traffic that's on there
Yeah,
is being
yeah.
used today.
And I can tell you, we actually did our site walk with the Conservation Commission at 5:30, excuse me, before their hearing, and I think maybe 2 vehicles came out towards
Really?
33.
Yeah.
During the 45 minutes we were out there.
I think UEI's point on this, because I talked to Allison and she would,
Yeah.
was that pedestrian traffic could happen
Yeah.
across that.
Right.
So accommodate for
Right.
pedestrian traffic.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's all they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a crosswalk seems to be pretty
Yeah,
simple.
That should be,
Yeah, would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you need anything more than that.
And that's what I'm writing,
Yeah.
that crosswalk.
You don't
Yeah.
need flashing lights or anything else. just-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, if it was going to be a crosswalk, it needs to have an ADA curb ramp with the tactile warning and all that. I mean.
Well,
I
there's
think
no
if we're-
curbing, so there wouldn't be a ramp, but it would all be at grade.
But you're still entering, you're going from a pedestrian area to a vehicular area, so you need to like,
Oh, the warning,
Have
the
like a
warning strip would
warning.
have to be there, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. There's no sidewalk, there's no tip downs on a
Oh,
curb
okay,
or anything.
yeah, so-
It would be all flush, but yes, we would put the,
so you
those
paint it
bubble
and put the
warnings.
the
Bubble
truncated
warnings,
dome
yeah.
of things,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Yep, and then the second one, now that we've gotten that one dealt with, the concern was that if trucks or other vehicles are stacked to make a left-hand turn onto Route 108, and I believe they mean right here, visibility of vehicles turning onto the GTE road may be limited for drivers crossing from the existing Foss Motors lot to the new lot. So I think the concern is that if vehicles are parked here, these people are going to have trouble seeing vehicles coming in. I mean, there's, we can put a stop sign there, whatever, but, this is, and bear in mind, big trucks, I don't know what Osram has for big trucks coming in, but there will not be big vehicles coming into this lot. Everything is going to be dropped at the existing dealership and brought over by Tim's staff. So I don't really see that as an issue, but again, we would love to hear your thoughts on it.
coming south on Portsmouth, taking a left into that road could be a little blind as well.
And that's not even their concern, Mr. Gruder. Their concern is a vehicle that's trying to cross here. They feel that they could be limited to someone turning in. Limited to view of someone turning into that GTE road. Which I think, if
But
if
it
we
works
don't
out
have big
vice
trucks
versa
coming in out of there.
As well, if you're turning in, it could be a
Yeah.
visibility thing too.
And that's the point. I mean, they're not going to have big vehicles, large trucks coming
Right.
in and out of here. If it's passenger vehicles, I just don't see that as being an issue. I mean, this is, 6 feet higher than down here, so you would hopefully see them as you drove down. And I mean, that's the other point here is vehicles coming down onto this road, I think are going to be very cautious to begin with.
Right.
Driving 5 miles an hour, that type of thing. I mean, I just don't see that as being a major issue.
Did you submit the traffic memo that we discussed at TRC? I didn't see it. We asked for
I will
just
double check.
kind of, because this was a discussion, it's like, well, just get a traffic memo together.
Yeah.
Just write it, submit it,
Yeah, I know
and see
the
what
one
they
was
say,
done.
but
I'll have
I
to
don't,
double check, Dave.
I don't remember seeing that, because the TRC had requested, just take a look at it.
Yeah.
So,
I know the gas station, one of the gas stations on 27, the newer one, in front of Sawbelly, right next door.
Yeah.
I've gone to that gas station a few times, and I know when we didn't design it, when we dealt with.
We corrected some of it.
Yeah,
Thought we were
I've been
right.
there a few times, and I'm surprised at how well it functions, because it's pretty tight, and there's a lot of things going on, and people are cautious.
I
when
would
they're
agree.
there.
I've been into that store several times.
Yeah, it's a little, if there was a place where I think it would be a little hairy,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem to be. It seems to work really well, so
Well,
And
big
that
trucks come at
side
the right
entrance?
time.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
really, yeah.
I mean, if this is really just typical passenger vehicles, I don't think.
Well, I would think the dealership's going to take care of their clients.
Well, exactly.
If there is something that develops.
Right. That's right.
I think you'd be the first ones that wanted to correct it.
Exactly. So what are you thinking, Dave? A memo?
no, we had just talked, and we're like, okay, let's just get a traffic memo, like,
Yeah.
traffic engineer looks at it, like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty routine for
Right.
a lot of projects, and, this is I don't know how many, couple hundred, cars, although they're there, it's not
Sure.
like it's coming and going, but
Yeah.
there's a 22,000 square foot building, the use is kind of up in the air of what that building is for.
I don't think the use is.
We heard
up there,
RV
Jim.
storage.
No,
No. That was
There's an
the.
RV that I would love to have stored there, but it's not. It's
Okay.
It's for dry storage, so like parts, engines that have not been put into cars, so no oil in them, stuff like that.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah.
Our wholesale business is getting real strong, so we need more room.
Yeah. So there's going to be traffic associated with that use, you know, I mean, they got to come and go and, you know, parts got to come and go. So, you know, so I was just like, okay, just put it together a traffic memo and, you know, just, you know, see in the distance between the access road and Portsmouth Ave, you know, because usually you don't like driveways, you know, close. I mean, you want any intersections, the further away they are, but granted, the less use they are, the less concern it is. But, you know, I just thought to put it, kind of that whole conversation to bed was just get a traffic memo together.
Yeah.
And I'll have to double check on that, Dave. And just for the board's knowledge, we went through this on multiple occasions through TRC. As you travel to potentially put this drive aisle further away from 33 or 108, you start getting into a pretty significant slope. And if you drive by that, actually, when we do our site walk, you can visualize that pretty clearly. You know, as it is, we worked as hard as we could to get that, you know, to a reasonable slope. If we were over here and trying to scale, you know, 10, 12 vertical feet in that short distance horizontally, it would not be pretty.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Oh, so could I just follow up with the previous conversation about the storage building? So there'll be at least an employee or employees in that building, because I'm assuming that's where parts will be delivered?
It will be locked, and then when someone needs to go in there, unlock it.
So, but parts would be delivered there, or delivered in your main building and then driven over?
Then we'll store them over there.
Could you
Okay.
step to the microphone?
Thank you.
please? So that our viewers at home can hear every detail.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
And, yeah, just state your name for the minutes, please.
Tim Foss?
Thank you.
No, it would be, to the best of my idea of it, it would be locked when someone's not in there, and then get the stuff out of it, lock it, and leave.
So no offices, just
No,
storage
just
and
big
you,
open storage. So,
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So the whole point of this is to do the traffic from the the dealership, if you will, down here, off of Portsmouth Ave. So all of your internal movement is on your land and not
That's correct.
distracting the traffic on Portsmouth Ave. Yeah.
Right.
The board feel we need anything? Drive slow, stop sign,
Probably.
see what.
Wait for the traffic memo.
Wait for the traffic memo.
Get some further comment, but it's good that we had some discussion on it.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's what we're supposed to do.
And I appreciate it. Those were the only two I needed to go through, Mr. Vice Chair.
See, you adjust you by way of your position.
Might be shortly held.
Other comments, concerns?
I have a few questions.
Yes.
Can I just make one comment? Is
Oh, go ahead.
Pete on?
Yeah.
He's named.
He was.
I saw his name, but now it's gone.
You get billing.
Should we introduce him?
Can you try to address him?
Pete, can you hear us? I heard him talking earlier.
He popped in and then left, so he's not in right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Who's boy?
All right.
Ms. Jen, the floor is yours.
I had a couple of questions. I am looking for, I see a fence along Portsmouth Avenue, along that side and then along the back side. Is that like a permanent fence, or is that,
I'm gonna have to.
is that just your,
Where you're looking, Jen.
okay.
Are we talking right here?
Yeah,
That is our erosion control.
that's your erosion control. Okay, so
Yeah,
there's no
at the-
fence.
At the base of the disturbance.
The parking lot striping, do we have that? Or is it going to be striped, or is it going to
It's
be
not
kind
going to
of
be
a
striped.
free-for-all?
Typically, you don't want to paint porous pavement, and secondarily, there's no real rhyme or reason as to how, I mean, obviously, Tim has a rhyme or reason when he knows how many vehicles are going to be out there. But, yeah, there is no striping proposed. I think, did we have a couple up by the up by the building?
It looks like in your like turning diagram, there are some stripes.
Yeah, I think those would just be for parking. Yes, so that is correct. We have some parking striped along here and
Yeah.
along there for folks that are actually going to be accessing the building to either move parts in or out. But that's it. The idea is the bulk parking without any spaces gives these guys a lot more flexibility with how they
Yeah.
organize vehicles.
Put
as
them
they
at
come
that
in.
diagonal so the car looks
So that they
better.
look shiny to the street, yes.
Okay. Can you kind of walk through on that same, or the one that had the turning radius, like what's going on that, where you have a little loading dock over there, where you have that little driveway?
Over here?
Yeah. Like how is that serviced?
So initially, that is conventional pavement. And that was originally intended to be emergency vehicle turn for a fire truck, ambulance if need be, whatever. Once we now know there is going to be an overhead door here, because we now have the schematic and concept building plans, we've got to extend that down a little bit. But again, if in the event a fire truck has to get in and out, they're going to pull in, they're going to back out, they're going to drive back out towards Route 108. You really don't want them to be porous because those big vehicles will just tear it up.
So the overhead door, is that like being serviced by trucks or anything? Like will people be backing in there for?
I doubt it. I think it's probably just to get bigger items in without having to struggle with a man door.
Okay.
Like Tim says, they get a dry engine delivered or an engine block.
Yeah.
That's going to be awfully difficult to get through one of those doors.
So you're going to have some kind of truck on a pretty regular basis backing into that.
But I would assume that would be a pickup. Like Tim
okay.
said, the big vehicles are all coming to the main
Okay.
dealership.
It wouldn't be like.
And then it would be transferred again by Tim's staff.
A cargo van.
Okay.
And Christian, just like at the TRC, when we asked for the elevation, the building elevations, you didn't have them. You said you had them now?
Yeah, we submitted them.
You did?
Uh-huh.
I didn't have them in my packet. Okay, Barb didn't get them to me.
She did not.
Did they,
They're
did you
in
go
the
through do they meet the
package.
architectural standards? And
Believe so.
okay. Have enough glass and
Yeah.
broken up facade?
I've got them on here.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in the package. They're
Oh, okay, so
They're not in
I gave
mine.
them to the board, just not
Oh.
you.
they're on the PDF. They're sheet 104.
They are not in my packet.
Oh,
Okay.
Dave, there you go. Look at Lang.
That's what we
You can
got.
see the windows they put in.
I didn't get them.
You haven't looked at your packet yet. My goodness.
I can look at your line.
Gotta shape up,
They were
Dave. Come
short
on.
building plans, David.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
That's a 3-pitch roof?
We try to tilt it. Children. Thank you for sharing. We teach the
Because
children that.
the roof has to be a minimum of 3-pitch. That does not look like a 3-pitch roof. But I'll review it with all the architectural standards and
All right.
get back to you, but that doesn't look, just on first glance.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's an easy fix.
And then we look for like breaking up long facades with like colors and the multiple building look, if you will, on the sides. At least important that it's whatever is visible from Portsmouth Ave. So yeah, just go through our architectural standards, they're right in the site plan regs.
So this shows us an entrance here going onto the new parking lot, right?
Yes.
So is there potential this gets used for something
It
else?
doesn't need the glass.
What's that?
It doesn't need that glass down low, the way it was.
Well, you show 2 double doors and everything. I thought it almost looks like showroom B.
It's
You know what, if you want to sit at the other chair, you'll have your mic and you don't have to keep moving.
Yeah, just slide that over. It's right there. We always say.
You're
look at the
welcome.
end.
This is a new setup, huh?
That's why we did this new setup, that's why,
Oh.
yeah,
That's cool.
All the comforts.
I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
you don't, only if you want to mute yourself do you push it. See?
Go ahead.
One more comment. Given the large number of large trees being cut down, I would love it if the applicant would consider planting larger trees. A 2 to 2.5 inch caliper tree is pretty tiny, especially for along a major street like Portsmouth Avenue. I would definitely rather see a 3 or 3.5 inch tree go in. It's going to get snow loads, it's going to get all kinds of stuff, so you want something pretty robust.
So just bump up the size of the trees at the time of
size.
planting?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
the install size, yeah. And then I know you went through all the stormwater stuff very thoroughly, but I feel like I missed a couple things. So you have that swale along the back of the building that's picking up the roof runoff? Is that correct? Okay. What about like the impervious areas, like the driveway entrances? How is that draining?
And these coming in?
Yeah, those three.
Well, the interesting thing about this, Jen, and obviously we don't have a cross-section of the entire parking lot, but this is the low point of the parking lot. So both of those are tipped up because it's porous pavement. I mean, it's shallow slope. But all of this stormwater coming off of here, will just run into that porous pavement and be infiltrated into that chamber or into that storage beneath. And this particular drive, actually, that's why we extended out that trench.
That'll get picked up there.
So that'll get collected there.
Okay.
Yes. We felt that was the better way to go because then we're much more confident that nothing coming off a pervious or impervious surface from this development is going to head in the direction of the resource.
Yep.
Jen, how are we with quantity of trees?
Oh, she didn't mention anything, so I think that means she likes it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd always love to see more. But, I think given, it's a good quantity. I think as long as the sizes going in are better or bigger. The gray birch, you're kind of specifying, that might be hard to find as like a 3 to 3.5 inch tree. It's usually kind of more of a multi-stem thing.
So that species might be difficult to find in the 3 and 3.5 inch
in like a
caliper?
single stem thing that would be like, I mean, it would look nice there as a multi-stem, that's fine, but you just want to specify it differently. So in that case, I would, like if it's a multi-stem, you want to specify it at 12 to 14 feet, which is the height.
Dictate the height instead
Yeah,
of.
you dictate the height.
Plus you're leaving the trees behind the storage building, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a few of those.
Yeah, there's some nice
Yep.
trees there. I feel like it'd be nice to plant a willow tree to like replace there's like that signature willow tree that's out there right now that I don't know. I feel like when I drive by that's the thing I notice.
Oh, the one that sits in the middle of the,
I would never
the lawn
recommend
area?
planting a willow tree.
Right.
Except for in this case, it'd be just kind of cool to put one in somewhere.
Remember the one that was over by Volvo for years?
What?
McDonald's?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it was a huge one. Oh, yeah. What about along the roadside of the storage facility, or is that all,
I'm assuming that's just
what's
gravel.
happening between the road and the building?
Not room for much.
There's not a lot of space.
Maybe a couple little something or others, I don't know what's there.
So in this location, Lang,
Yes,
currently there's nothing proposed. It would just be loamed and seeded.
okay.
Again, we didn't know if perhaps there was going to be a door entrance there.
Yeah.
Now that there's not, we could probably expound on the planting somewhat, but, again, I don't think. we
There
wanna
is
try
one
and-
though.
Pardon?
There is a door there.
Yeah, there's a door shown.
There's a door showing near the,
Oh, up
And-
towards the front, yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so the same, and I don't know how much space that is, but between the edge of the road and the side of the building, but
Yeah, but that was the plan at this point, was just to loam and seed that area.
So is that door?
No, I'm
there?
looking at this and I think I'll be interested in Dave's review of the architectural standards because that
Pretty
is a pretty
plain.
blank facade to have nothing in front of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there are several. They get some work to do. I mean, there's
Okay, yeah.
several. I mean, like for, in order to prevent the construction of warehouse-style buildings, all new buildings in addition shall have pitch roofs of 312 or greater, gabled ends. I mean, that's not three. And then in large commercial structures that are over 200 feet, which this one I think is 250, right? This one's 250. Building elevation shall be designed to give the appearance of multiple attached buildings. So they got some work to do
Yeah.
with the elevations. And then, there's a couple others too.
So I think, when you're thinking about the elevations, also think about like, if there is a space that, is a big blank space, maybe that's a good place to put some shrubs or
Yeah.
something.
Sure.
Just to
Just
kind
break it up a little bit.
Yeah. That's all.
Well, nobody's asked about parking lot,
Lighting.
parking lot lighting.
Well, there's
I can see the,
6 lights, I think.
Dimming at 10.
There are downcast lights, of course.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Dark sky compliant.
And do we have any hour times on that?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, we asked about that they were on a timer with intensity.
It was 10 o'clock.
10 PM.
I think it is 10 PM, yeah.
Okay.
Are they gonna be,
Okay,
not
yep.
motion, right? I think I might be getting my dealerships confused.
Motion lights?
They did motion over at,
They did McFarland.
McFarland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they had proposed, Dave.
Are they gonna shut off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aside from probably potentially safety lights at the entrance to the,
Yeah.
Any outdoor lights on the building? Just hanging-
I think-
There's no room for a pole, but hanging from the side.
I think, yes. They have 2 lights proposed here, 3 lights along the side, and 1 on the backside.
Okay.
And again, I think, during the hours post 10 PM, those 2 may be the only 2 that should probably be on a motion sensor.
And are the 2 along GTE Road in front of the building, are those existing or? Are those proposed
Where are you looking,
also?
Jen?
Along the road, along GTE Road, there's 2 lights?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are existing.
okay. Is there a photometric plan in this package?
Sheet 5. There are for the lights we're specifying, not for the existing ones.
It's on the landscaping, it's combined.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like the light levels. Oh, I
Oh, we
see.
can-
2-foot candles.
Yeah, we
candle.
showed, I think, down to the half-foot candle. We can certainly put those on, but it just makes such a mess out of the rest of the sheet because they have those photometrics literally peppered across. the
Yeah.
entire-
It's very light, it almost looks like topo, but
Yeah, no, I see
you gotta
it.
kinda,
Yeah, I just-
work hard for it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I see. Yep.
Can I ask a few questions?
Yes, please do.
So once, you wouldn't need to park on the sides of the road once this project happened. So have you considered no parking signs? So people who want to stop and look at your vehicles don't park along there?
I'd be more than okay with that.
Pardon me?
I'd be okay with that.
Okay, and
I
just,
think it's a good idea.
yeah, and a gate? Have you thought about a gate for after hours or anything like that? So that people can't drive in there after hours?
Hadn't thought about it.
Especially with no security lights?
It's a good
Okay.
idea.
People probably have access to the main lot 24/7 anyway, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you'd have to gate off the cross and the.
Well, I'm only
You can't
thinking.
gate on GTE Road, you can't do that.
No, I don't mean gating the road itself off. I mean the entrances, those
The
two entrances, because they're not going to have, and I believe McFarland Ford put a gate up. I believe. It's too long ago.
I
Don't
don't
quote
think
me
so.
on
I don't
that.
remember.
They didn't have one.
I don't
proposed.
remember.
They had like lights.
They
and
had
camera.
security, yeah, they had security. That's why I was wondering if that was an option to consider.
Well, this lot's much more visible than that other one. But That's road don't go alongside of it.
Yeah.
Who knows what
It's
lurks in
gonna be
the
pretty lit up in
mind of
Portsmouth Ave, too.
young boy.
I'll have a better visual when we do, if we do a site walk.
Girls,
It's,
don't let the girls
yeah,
out.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it at the sidewalk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I believe that the lights along GTE Road are on all night anyway. As well as Dave mentioned,
I don't know. I don't know. We've done parades set up in that back parking lot, and it's pitch black trying to, when they're doing the parade, to come out of that road. So, I don't know. I'll drive in there.
Yeah, we'll
Check
take
it out. I just remember thinking with those golf carts and no lights, it was a little concerning with children running around, so.
Well, hopefully there won't be any children.
No, just the parade part of
I
it.
know,
That's the only time I really had to be in there, so.
Is that back at the Ostrom building?
Yeah, they do, but they
Why
come
would-
out.
I know, they should have lights.
Did we figure out the site walk thing?
Nope, not yet.
You already doing one with conservation?
We have
No,
already
they had
had one with
Oh, you already
conservation.
did it. Okay.
So, yeah, whenever you guys want to go out,
Yeah.
we'll make sure that they're aware and they can join
Okay.
you if they so choose.
So they had a site walk and then they met, but then they didn't.
Well, they were a little confused. This is what I heard, what Kristen Murphy told me. They were a little confused with where stuff was. I guess you were pointing it out, but they didn't have anything staked out. Like
That's correct, it was not.
Yeah, the building corners, the edges, the limits of, work and stuff like those important kind of things to get a sense of where things are going and how close they are to the various wetlands and so forth. So they're anxious to go back. Well, they're interested in going back. Once
So
those
we're going to set
features-
up a site visit and they might.
We're
join
gonna set
us.
up a site visit, and then I'll tell Kristen Murphy and then she'll let the Concom know and they can join us. We'll post it as a, Concom meeting as well, and they can join us.
You said their meeting's June 6th?
Their meeting's June 11th.
11th. So we want to try to accomplish it prior to that.
You wanna try to accomplish prior to that, yeah. Next week is, I think it's gonna take, have you staked, how long is it gonna take you to do that?
I will have to touch base with Doucette Survey.
Okay, so I think we go for like
I
the
would
week.
not plan on next week.
That's what I'm saying. I think we should plan for the week of June 3rd. 3rd through the 6th or 7th, because you do them in the morning sometimes,
Thursday of
right?
that week.
6th.
That would be nice
Their
if we
meeting.
could.
No, the meeting 11th.
Oh, I'm sorry, I keep saying the 6th. I don't know why. I got that in my mind.
Take the wax out of your ears.
Any day work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Wednesday morning, the 5th, is the most difficult for me, but I can move that appointment if it's the only one that works.
How's the 6th for you?
How about Thursday?
I can make anything work that week in the morning except,
What?
like I said,
Thursday?
8 o'clock if
8
possible.
o'clock.
Is it Thursday the 6th?
Yep.
8?
8.
With coffee? No.
Can 8 work for you?
Absolutely.
June 6th. June 6th, Thursday at 8 a.m. Can everyone here make it?
That's what we're proposing.
The heads are nodding,
Yep.
and we're not
Yeah.
going to sleep
Yes,
yet
sir.
because it's not even 9 o'clock.
That works okay?
Fine by us.
All right.
And you're going to mark the corners of the building?
Yeah, and probably the larger corners of the
Larger
parking
corners,
lot. Yeah, I don't think the parking area is so confusing because there's no trees. You're just looking at the
Well, but it
lawn.
might be nice to know approximately where the depth of it, both.
Yeah,
I would just
no,
say the limits.
We could have them do the big.
Yeah, you don't need to
Yeah.
stake it all out, but the limits toward
limits.
toward Wheelwright Creek.
Right.
On the Wheelwright Creek
Right.
side.
And location of opposing driveways or connecting driveways, which you
Yep.
call them.
Yeah, the crosscut there, yeah. That would be good to identify.
Now, you're going to be digging into the existing parking lot a little bit of that to
Yes.
make it, okay.
Yep.
That's next, the motion.
Motion?
You want to just table the thing?
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm being prompted.
Can I ask one quick question before?
Yes.
Of course.
Do you have to get a shoreland permit for this?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Shoreline
Wetland
permit,
and
wetlands
shoreline.
permit, and alteration of terrain.
Okay.
Local wetland, local shoreline, state shoreline,
State wetland
and state wetland.
Okay.
and AOT.
And AOT. Before you close it, Lang, I don't know if there's any public here looking
yeah.
to speak.
Ah, yes.
I'm public.
That's
Does
what-
anybody in the public like to speak?
That's
to
why
that?
I
Let me
put it
open the
up.
meeting to the public. This is my best part. And if you'd like to speak, please sit at the microphone.
Yeah.
I guess these are new, so state your name, so our...
My name is Sally Oxnard. I've lived here in town for a long time, and it's the first time I've been to the planning board, and I appreciate what you
Welcome.
guys do, although I've known Lang for years. So I'm a
Excuse
member
me,
of-
Sally,
I'm
can
a-
I ask you a real quick question?
Yeah,
Do you live on Greenleaf Ave?
I do.
I abut you
Oh, you
from
do?
behind. Yeah, I'm on Deer Haven Drive.
Oh, great.
I met you when we built our house. I think, or you or your husband.
Is yours the dog that I hear?
Yes.
This is our
Yellow
Right.
Bailey. Zeus.
Okay.
He's very happy, but he's loud.
That's good. I'm a member of the tree committee, and I'm also a local birder. So I appreciate Jennifer's comments, and I want to say someday we're going to have bird-friendly glass in this town. Maybe this would be a good PR moment for that building with all that glass, to start with bird-friendly glass, which is commercially available. You don't just need it in skyscrapers, we need it in all of our buildings, and particularly with all that light. It would be, I know there's no rule in town, but maybe one day we'll have one, and that would be good PR for this building, to have bird-friendly glass. It's a lot of glass in that exposure.
We have, just aside,
The birds can, it doesn't reflect, so you don't get as many bird deaths. The bird deaths are in the hundreds of thousands, and we're becoming more aware about this. And, that's why they turn off the lights when the birds are migrating, et cetera. And bird-friendly glass is one of the things that you can look at. And it's not just the skyscrapers that need to be bird-friendly, it's your house and mine. So it'd be an opportunity
we
and good.
we have someone
Yeah.
build a bird's nest in a tree about 6-7 feet from my dining room window.
Say that again?
I said, at my house, the birds have built a nest about maybe 8-9 feet,
Yeah.
and the mother flies into our window every day.
Right, yeah.
Bang, and
A
then she
lot
gets-
of birds. And so if you have bird-friendly glass,
gets
that
up.
happens much less, because they don't see their reflection in the glass, or they don't see the trees behind them in the glass, so they don't get killed. Thank you.
Very exciting, new technology, thank you.
That's right.
That doesn't happen every day. We're getting educated.
That's
great.
true, but, you got to start somewhere. It's like the-
Absolutely.
That's a big issue
suggestion.
in the towns,
Yeah.
cities, big cities.
Big time.
I was at a project in Springfield, Mass. just this morning, and there were 3 dead birds
Aw.
right in front of the building, like right there. Yeah, sad.
Are you sure those weren't victims of feral cats?
I mean, they were all like right in the same place. My theory is it's this old historic building, but they just installed this big LED lighted crazy display on the convention center across the street that reflects into the window, and it's reflecting images of trees and sky and stuff. And so I think the birds are seeing the reflection in the window, and like literally there are 3 of them. Like,
Coming in too hot, as it were.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad.
All right.
Anyway, okay, on that note.
I don't know how to take that.
Thank you for
Are you
that.
making a motion?
I was.
And now on with the motion.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to make a motion. I
Oh, wait a minute,
move.
excuse me, I've got to close. Anybody else like to make any comments? If not, then I'll close the public session, bring it back to the board.
You ready to?
Now you may make the motion.
Okay, thanks. I make a motion. I move the application of Meniscus Financial Holdings LLC Planning Board Case Number 2-4 be tabled to, what day?
June 13th at 7 PM.
June 13th at 7 PM, Planning Board meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I think a voice vote is okay for this one, so those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman,
ladies?
quick point of order. Did the board accept the application as complete?
Yes.
Perfect. I missed it. It's my bad. I was probably putting presentation.
They call it opening the case.
Yes,
It's the same thing.
Got it.
When they voted to open the case, that was them
Really?
accepting the
The
application.
whole basement, so
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
the walking dog. got over there, because one of our walking guys was way down the end there.
And the tree committee has a list of recommended trees for
Went to his house, had coffee and donuts, and walked up.
friendly,
I
open
mean,
space
it's
investing. Actually, the tree committee's part
as
of
much as a mile over the rest of that road, but it goes.
Yeah. it does.
They're awesome. They work very hard.
Hi, I'm Sally Oxman.
Thank you.
She's got it.
Thank you.
Well, we stopped. Oh, you did?
Okay,
Great.
where's our agenda?
Yes, right, yeah. And we use it by will.
The next thing is election of officers.
Okay.
Hasn't changed, right, yeah. Yeah, Tom, my husband has a crossfire.
Could you folks step out?
The Foss Motors for years, and finally he said, we can't do this, so he's going to force us to have somebody else.
Yeah.
No, it's silver.
nice.
Yeah,
Can,
Miss Sally,
they're
could you take the conversation to the hallway? We have business to.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay, other business. Dave, you left some,
Good to see you.
good night.
Election of officers,
did you have field modifications, or
Yeah,
should we
let them
first
hear.
organize?
yeah.
On the agenda, we need to elect our officers for the
Yeah,
forthcoming year.
yeah, go ahead and do that stuff, and then I have something at the end.
So,
It's up to him.
has anybody got a
Unless you're ready to
suggestion?
step up.
No.
No. No.
I'll make a motion to nominate
Good.
Lang for president, or chairman, I'm sorry.
Lang for president. I like the sound of that.
I'll second.
It's better than the choices we have.
That was a Freudian, but a good,
Yeah.
well said.
Okay,
And
I'll second.
do we want to do them together? Or is that okay?
And do them together.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and then
You need a clerk.
Aaron for vice chair.
And we need,
Mm.
And we need a clerk.
and
We need a clerk.
We need a clerk. Pete said
Pete
he's
didn't
stepping
want
down.
to.
Pete does not want to do
he's
it.
gonna
Okay.
step down, yeah.
Does anybody
How
want to do
about
it?
John Gruder for
I
clerk?
can't.
Jen.
Jen said it first, actually.
Yeah.
She was quick
I
to
said
draw.
John Gruder for clerk.
Gwen's not here. I don't care, the clerk's fun. Unless we should have a woman of it.
I don't think that matters. Can you nominate yourself? Why don't we do the chair and the vice chair
All right.
Okay,
first?
nominations are closed for the chair. Well, unless there's other nominations.
Okay, none, so I'll
Then-
second that.
Then I would, I would call for, that's a nomination. Do we need a second on nominations? I don't think so.
Probably.
Okay, well,
I
one,
made it.
second
Can't
on
hurt.
nominations, okay?
Well, I made the motion, you second.
Yeah.
well,
Can't hurt.
Now, would you people like a hand vote for this?
Let's do a hand vote.
Hand vote, okay. So those in
we
favor?
voting?
we're-
Yeah, yes, you can vote for yourself.
Ken?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
you don't have to.
Okay.
We don't
Be
have to
modest.
vote.
I vote for you instead. Is that-
We need to get through this one first.
Okay, we do this.
This is a double ticket, though.
That's true.
Okay. All right, those in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed? Abstentions? So be it. Now we need a nomination on the floor for clerk.
Who's missing? Gwen?
Gwen
Yeah,
That's it?
that's it.
We're down to,
And Pete.
and Pete.
and Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're thin. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So can I nominate Mr. Gruder as clerk? I'd like to nominate Mr. Gruder as clerk. How's that?
That's fine.
Second.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Any other would you like to be clerk?
Oh, no, thank you.
I saw her face. Yeah.
All right,
Ask me again in 6 years.
then I'll call for a vote for John to sit and step up to be our clerk. Those in favor, please raise your right hand.
Aye. Oops, sorry, didn't follow directions.
Opposed?
John didn't vote.
Yes, he
You wrote
did.
that down, right?
You did, you raised your hand.
You didn't, actually. He abstained.
He did?
Yeah. He was
Yes.
modest. He said he was being modest.
You can vote for
4 in favor.
I'll
Abstention?
vote, there, I did.
Okay, good.
Oh, we got it, okay.
What's it-
Majority vote, so
Just
be it.
records the vote, really.
So we're all set for next year, thank you very much. Master plan discussion would be next.
Lang, Aaron.
Just briefly, the Master Plan Oversight Committee met and RPC came in to talk about the Bike and Ped Master Plan, and they're still working on the graphics and so forth. And they were gonna come to our meeting, I think, whatever it was, the 6th or something like that, whatever it was, it's the first Thursday of the month. But Scott Bogle asked to he's out of town, so he asked for the 13th. So I'm sending an email to the folks to see if we can meet on the 13th and finalize the plan, and they expect to be done, and then if they'll possibly go to the select board after that as well. And then we'll invite the planning board, instead of like, going to this MPOC, planning board, select board, just we'll have it at the select board, and we'll invite all the planning board members to come to that presentation.
What he put together was pretty good, though.
It was.
That was a
Yeah.
good presentation.
Yeah. It's got a lot of good recommendations.
Yeah.
Identifies a lot of, intersections, connections, and so forth, so.
a lot
Once
to
it's
it.
finalized, I'll send it out to everyone, but it's not ready yet, so.
Not ready yet, okay.
What about the parking study? Is that,
Yeah, that is kind of in the same spot. I reached out to Evan Drew, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard, just, because they went to the select board and then they were going to submit the final report.
Right,
And
yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, and they were supposed to reach out to DPW about the winter parking ban and making sure they,
Yep. That's talked about in the report and so forth. And I
Okay.
did let him know that, and I haven't heard from him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
'Cause when he presented
it's
it,
almost time to
they
revisit and ask him again. But,
Yeah, thank you.
I'll give him I'll give him another nudge to see where that's at.
Okay.
Carlisle thing. You wanna bring
Next,
up the
land
Carlisle?
use regulation review?
None at this time.
This thing.
I got a next one though, field modifications.
Yeah.
It's not really a field modification, am I okay to go?
Yes.
Okay. It's not really a field modification at this point. I have passed them out, John and Nancy are sharing. You have in front of you this open space residential subdivision, the Carlisle subdivision. It was a 12-lot subdivision off Watson Road. I think everyone remembers that. It was back in, I think 2020, it got approved. Anyway, just follow me, like, open it to A2. Everyone on Plan A2? Okay, you look at Plan A2, and then between Lot 6 and 7, you will see this half-hatched area
Thank you.
called, it says 20-foot open space access easement.
Yes.
Everyone see that?
Yep.
Okay, so there's one that goes to the open space, and it terminates where it ends, where those 3 pins are, from the cul-de-sac, and then it goes out back and ends. That is the town-owned parcel that also abuts our town forest and so forth. So that's a 20-foot access easement. And and then you turn over, and you gotta kind of flip it over to A3. There's another one that you can see, right, kind of in the middle of the plan, that says proposed 20-foot access easement in favor of tax map 4015. Those are the plans that got recorded. But then, the developer calls me and says questions about the 12-foot gravel access drive that's proposed for both of those easements. 12-foot gravel. And I was like, what are you talking about? And if you go to D7.
D7?
Is everyone on D7?
Getting there.
This is in the details. This is in the details. It is not, it's a detail sheet.
Go to the very end.
It's almost at the very end. Well, no, it's, almost at the
Doesn't
very
have
end.
D7.
yeah, but we're upside down. Let's try flipping it in case we need to read
Don't
anything.
say something about
There we go.
gravel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now I
So
understand.
now, the top, there's 3 captions, okay? There's 3 pictures.
Yes.
Forget about, it's just the 2 on the left, the one on the top and the one on the bottom. Look at the one on the top, it says Lot 7, and then below it is Lot 6. There's that 20-foot access, but if you look just about midway, it has a little thing that says 12-foot gravel access drive. And then on the bottom one, the one that goes to the Carlisle piece, the other one that's a access easement to a thing, it also says right in the
Same
road.
thing, yep.
It says 12-foot gravel access drive. And I was like, what? You know,
That's
and so I
funny,
asked
yeah.
Kristen Murphy about it, and she's like, no, the Concom, you know, they didn't see that. They don't know anything about that, you know, because I was like, well, where's it from, you know? And then, because he was just questioning it, he's like, why do you want, you know?
Do you think Carlisle wanted it?
Well, no, so the developer called the engineer, and the engineer, and I can confirm this and talk to
Yeah, it
them,
probably
but,
makes
the developer called him, and I, believe what he said. He said he called Barry Geyer, who designed this for Jones on Beach, and he said, no, Carlisle didn't want it. It was a planning board condition. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I pulled the planning board conditions, and it's not mentioned at all. And then I started thinking, I don't remember a conversation, but I don't want to do a plan amendment or a field modification if it was discussed at the planning board, and the planning board did want it. It is unusual. We do these quite a bit, but I don't think we've ever made a gravel access drive require, and then who maintains it and so forth. If there's kind of two different ones. One's to the public open space, the other one's to benefit the lot. If anyone ever wants to, buys that lot or that owns it, wants to access that, they can put a driveway in, if they want to, when they want to, and they're gonna own it and maintain it. The public access is a little bit different, but we've never done that. And then I brought it up to Aaron, and he volunteered to watch all the meetings. I went through all the minutes. The minutes don't say anything about any 12-foot gravel access drive. Vice Chair Brown watched all the meetings. Couldn't find.
Thank you, Aaron.
No discussion. So I guess I was just.
Life is boring.
I just wanted to bring it up to everyone. Does anyone remember? Is anyone here brought that up or?
No.
I might have asked, how is it going to be maintained? It's supposed to be wild grass, I guess, natural.
Well, but to require it.
No.
Other than for
I
logging
don't remember
purposes or
yeah.
something. I don't know
Could
why.
it just be that we required an access easement and that was misinterpreted as an access drive?
Yeah, maybe, but
After?
one's 20 feet, the other one's 12. I get what
know.
you're
Yeah, right
saying.
next to each other.
So,
That's
all right, does
odd.
anyone
Okay.
have heartburn if we're like, okay, we do, I do a modification, if it meets the plan amendment modification, I just didn't want to do that. Like, if the planning board, someone said, this was wanted, so then I'd kick them back to the planning board. But before I would deal with it administratively. But if no one has heartburn, I'd have to research it, and maybe it's back anyway, but it sounds like, it's something that we might just keep the easement.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, and
in the
I'm comfortable with
discussion.
Aaron did the homework for
Was it in
all
the
of us.
conditions?
So,
No, so,
And I still I think it's actually less obstructive if it's left natural
Yeah.
till it's utilized, if it's ever utilized. So why require that?
yeah, it's good to have it.
Yeah.
That's why you have it. But
Right.
if no one required a public parking space. I mean,
Right.
it's gonna be a public road, and,
Yeah.
in theory, people could park on it.
Sure.
So how is that designated, other than on a plan?
What do you mean?
How do I know there's a right-of-way through that?
You don't.
Sitting there, you don't, unless you look at this.
Nope.
If I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
So there's no signage.
There's kind of a bunch of those. I'm not. They're all over Exeter. I mean, I'm not going to name streets and
I think he's
locations.
asking about if you were going to buy it. is
No,
what
I'm
he's
just, I wasn't, no, but, no, I'm just saying, how does one know that there's an easement there unless you,
Like
Word of
like
mouth?
you said on your deed, but the salesperson wouldn't tell you that until
Yes, they
you got to
would.
the closing.
I would hope, yeah.
saying.
Well, no, if you're
Nice
buying
try.
in the subdivision, you should know.
You should see the
because
plan.
You should see
Yeah.
the plans that maybe, that say there's a 20-foot access.
Would be in your deed.
I mean, particularly if you're lot 6 and 7,
6
it
and
is
7,
going
it's
to
gotta
be in your deed, and it burdens your land. So you will know, but will the general public know? We
Yeah.
didn't propose a trailhead there. We
No.
didn't
No,
propose anything like that.
Pretty
So
wet.
It's just leaving it for, Kristen Murphy, the Conservation, anybody that wants to monitor it or whatever, we know where it exists.
Need to be able to get out there.
Yeah, and then others in the neighborhood that live there know it exists, but all the other ones in the neighborhood, in theory, walk in their backyard hits it anyway, so
Right.
they can just walk in their backyard to access it.
Yes.
So you can take care of it just by.
I believe so,
Yeah,
so I
okay.
just, but I wanted to check with the board before I
Yep,
did that. So, all right, and I'll email Gwen, because she's not here, maybe she's the one that, I think, the only other one that was, or Pete,
Right.
just to see.
So do
I'll
you
email
want-
Gwen and Pete to see if they remember anything.
Do you want these back? So,
No,
because
well-
we'll have to bring it up again or no? No?
No,
She-
you didn't
Okay.
want to do it.
Gwen
Do you want him
Gwen
on
would have
to it?
wanted it
Or
lined
actually,
with
yeah, you
trees.
know what? I will take them.
I was thinking you might want it in case we,
Yeah,
I mean, I highlighted yellow where you were
unless
talking
you want
about.
to keep them.
Jen has a question. What
I have a question.
kind of trees should be planted?
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever.
Too late to
Both
get some more
sides of
trees.
that thing would be.
No, this,
Gravel.
I mean, it is about trees though, because, I'm looking at this and there were tree lines on here drawn in, like, we waived the tree requirement on this project. I think I voted against it. I was definitely not for it. When they started cutting trees, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, is that what we approved? Like, there is no way these tree lines have been adhered to. Is that something you can, like, is that something we can, like, we have no, I mean, obviously they can't put them back, but like, this whole hillside is just
Gone.
is gone.
The
It is
whole
like,
thing.
you will see every one of these houses,
Instead of-
except for that they're up overhead.
Well,
But, like,
we did,
it's
I will double
very
check, but we
clear.
did go through that because that was like, and we had UEI and I believe Kristen went out there and most of it was right where,
After they cleared?
yeah.
Okay.
Most of it was
It
right,
looks
but I'll double, it doesn't look it. It looks like
crazy.
but these, when you
that's
look at
sometimes-
this.
Right, but that was- okay.
You look at this plan, I mean, each of those cleared areas, some of those cleared areas are an acre.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Which
just
is a
seeing this
pretty
big
big
one in the
area.
front and it's like, it's just so big because it's on a slope and you're like, whoa.
This one right in the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, that
Maybe
one
that's
right
just-
there, all the
yeah.
way to the other, I mean, could be, that's at least an acre
Yeah. It
of
is.
land.
But if Kristen, I'm happy to hear Kristen goes out. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like it leaves us and then I don't know what the,
Well,
I know you guys are out there checking.
procedure, yeah.
Yeah.
We try to, the thing is that's why I always say the limits of clearing are always marked in the field, prior to any site work, and then maintained till CO. So they did do that.
Okay.
But there's always, maybe there was on this one, there's always like, the guy behind the, he gets going. And there are some, it's like, and I don't, they do, I don't think they do it, intentionally. It's just sometimes but I think we're okay, but let me double check and I'll report back.
Okay.
I had a question on that, though, that Jen brought up, basically. What happens if they significantly exceeded that?
Well,
What would we do?
in theory, right? This is in theory.
Yeah.
We do that just to limit the tree removal to
Yeah.
build the houses.
Right.
Because when someone buys this lot, it's a 2-acre lot, and there's no wetlands, there's no shoreline setbacks.
Right.
They can clear the entire lot.
Yeah.
And they can put 2 acres of Kentucky bluegrass.
Sure.
With an irrigation system in.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against that.
Right.
So, but we say, okay, if we do this, then most people will just, okay, they're not gonna, clear mature forest to put a lawn, but some people might.
Right.
So what do you do? I mean, if the next owner can simply cut it down.
Yeah.
There's not much. We just try to minimize it up front, because a lot of people will just leave it like that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Okay. Bond and/or letter of credit reduction and release?
Yep, too many to name,
Oh, wow.
but, well, not bond or letter of credits. It was a whole nother batch of the site plan review and inspection fund review. I think it was, I don't know, 30 or 40 more. So we're picking away and giving people from years ago their money back. I don't know where Barb is, but thank Barb for,
Yeah, that's
plowing
must be
through
a
all
lot
that.
of work.
But we got this money that it's not ours. We can't spend it. We have to give it back.
So if that's a 30 or 40 more in a batch, do we know how many more batches she's got to go? With no idea?
That's what I was just gonna say. I talked to her, I had the list, but
Is there any way, oh, okay, so this,
I have, we have the list. We went through them all, and we highlighted all the ones that are current, that we need to keep. And then all the ones that, and there's a lot.
Plug in for the board.
that's crazy.
Well, nobody ever asked for it back. I mean, they give, we say an escrow of 5,000 for the inspections. And then the inspections end up being, they only bill for their time. So if it's a real efficient job and, they work together and communicated with UEI, whoever the third-party inspection review was 15 years ago, they did it quickly, then they might only use 2,000 of that. So there's $2,000 left in that inspection account. But they never come back and ask for it.
And it's their responsibility to do that? Is that,
Well,
or is there?
yeah,
it's
that's what
just-
we tell them it's an escrow, and just once it's closed, you can, and some people do. Some people are right on it. Soon as it's closed, the site plan is approved, they'll ask for their site plan review money back, and we'll give it to them. But a lot of people just don't even ask for it back, and then, no one kind of, and then now the list got longer and longer. We're like, we gotta, because it's just sitting in our,
Can we put in a system where, when they are all finished, recorded?
That's what we were talking.
The town,
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, trying to get a system like, okay,
What happens?
Something that triggers a docket.
Yeah, it would be like this, as soon as the approval's done, well, site plan review should get given back, any leftover funds, as soon as that approval happens. And then the inspection fee is CO, as soon as the CO, so I think Barb and, we're trying to get a system,
Yep.
so we don't pile
all
them up.
municipalities must have this problem unless they.
Oh,
have a
yeah,
system.
yeah, I'm sure.
Too bad you can't make some money on it while it's sitting there, run down the.
Yeah, you can't
Put
keep
in a little
it, yeah, and any
Is it-
interest
I was gonna say,
you
what
make,
about the
you gotta give
interest?
it,
Okay.
you gotta give it to them.
Anything else for the good of the order?
I have one quick thing. When Sally was leaving, she mentioned that the tree committee has a list of like approved trees, which I think I kind of knew but sort of forgot. But I do feel like sometimes applicants are asking us like, well, what trees should I plant? Because they'll put like 12 of the same tree. And I think the tree committee is trying to encourage more biodiversity, because if you plant all the same tree and then that tree gets a disease,
comes
all the
along.
trees are dead,
Yep.
So if you have some
Yeah.
biodiversity, it's
Yep.
more aesthetically appealing, it's better for the animals and the plants, and
Yeah.
it's better for the tree survival. So, I just kind of wanted to put a pitch out there and just it was a good reminder that that exists, and that maybe we should reference it and encourage our applicants to reference it when they're putting together the landscape
Yeah.
plans.
So, and I was just wondering, with Jen bringing this up, we need our updated zoning ordinances for 2024 for our books, so maybe we could get a copy of that to add to our books.
Yeah.
The list. David, is that possible?
Yeah.
I know I have one, but I know it's a few years old, so if they've updated it.
It's on the website. It's on the,
Yeah.
Tree committee
I
website.
know, I'm terrible. I need my
Good.
paper copies. I'm getting there.
And then
Paper's good.
I know Aaron's gonna call me Columbo, but I do have a couple of things I think it's exciting that the planning board should know about, because you spend a lot of time on the I know the Celtics are on. It's 6-5, Indiana. I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway,
Funny.
we deal with the CIP, and that's coming up again, but a lot of times we don't follow up on the projects that, go through the process and get approved, and the public, the new police station, fire substation, was approved, and we've got an owner project manager on board, because we're doing a construction manager at risk delivery method for that, not the traditional design, bid, build type thing. Where you have a contractor and a designer working together early on, cost estimating throughout the process, modifying the design if needed, so you don't get to the end and go out to bid and say, whoops, we don't have enough money, type thing. We try to build to the budget.
I don't know why I didn't ask this a year ago, but is there land on that lot to expand that building when the time comes?
No, not expand. Well, I can't say, no, I take that back. No, there's not land, but the way it was designed, it could do additions. There was like a deck off back that you could add. So they planned that this is good. The current building will be, 20 to 40 years, and then you have room to grow a little bit more after that.
But I'm thinking of another engine or two or something, a bigger garage area.
You probably might figure that. Maybe on the apparatus bay there might be a small addition there, but it was built to have some room to grow, not unlimited, because the site's only 2 acres.
Yeah, but the current site is like, I don't know what, that
0.8.
That must have been like, it met its limit like the day it was finished.
Yeah, they were gonna think about like, okay, make structurally sound so you can add on to it if you needed to, and go up, because there's not a lot of going out. I mean, it's a 2-acre site. And we bought it in 2010, and that's the site we have. So
Sure.
it is a little tight, but it fits our needs, our current needs, and our predicted future needs for 20 plus years. I mean, I've heard some people say 40, so it will be good to go for a while. So that's exciting. I was out there, I found the monuments the other day to avoid, getting a survey out there to get it cleared. And we're engaging clear, so you'll start seeing, some land clearing and some things happening with that pretty soon. And then the solar array, that was on there, that's going full swing. Construction started last Monday, and if you go to the transfer station, check it out, because they're moving pretty quickly. They got a lot of the baskets in place. They're kind of cool. They're rock baskets with these 2 hot dip galvanized pipes on either end, and then they slide the galvanized pipes, Schedule 40, that go up and hold the panels. It's a pretty cool operation. So.
Do you know if Exeter TV's been out there filming any of it?
They are interviewing me next week.
Okay.
And they did some drone footage already.
Yeah, they're on it
They're going
then.
to put together a little spiel, because I was reading about the one in Manchester, which was 3.8 megawatts on a solar landfill, and it was a big deal. There was a lot. Congressional delegations came to see it, and this is the largest. Although 3.8 megawatts in Manchester is the largest solar array on a landfill, this is the largest municipally owned landfill in New Hampshire. This will be, because all the other landfill solar arrays they're not owned and operated by the municipality. They're owned and operated by, Kearsarge Energy, or something like that. They own and operate, and they basically lease the land or a purchase power PPA agreement with the town. In Exeter, we actually, it was great for the voters. The voters voted in to own and operate, the town operate this system. So we will get all the benefits of it, and not just get a piece,
Right.
of like a lease or something like that.
And how many megawatts is it?
1.7. I think final design, I think it was 1.77 on the warrant, but I think the final design came out to 1.79, because every day the panels get more efficient. The same size panels can create just a little bit more energy, so it's going to be 1.79.
So look for future Exeter bi-weekly update.
They do
So I just
such a
thought
great
you'd be
job.
interested.
I love those videos.
Aren't they wonderful? Yeah.
Yeah, good
Thought
job,
you'd be
Exeter.
interested, the CIP, you approve it, and it's good to see things actually getting built.
So when that's up and running, will Community Electric be buying potentially?
No, the way it will work is we will get a credit from Unitil on our bills. The way solar works in New Hampshire, you have to called net metering.
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to put enough meters or counts on up against what you create, and you have to cover all that energy use. So
Okay.
all of our accounts in town that will supply about 92% of the energy we use on all our energy accounts.
The town accounts, not my.
Yeah,
not
so
my
so we'll
house.
basically, the credit we'll get on our bill, instead of a $45,000 bill, the bill will be zero, something like that. So they don't hand us a check, they just give us a credit. There's some instances where you hand a check if you go over a couple of months, and, after like 6 months, they will cut you a check for the delta if that happens, but usually it's just a credit.
Yeah.
And then, so community, we get the credit from Unitil. So.
Yeah, I have solar panels, and in the summer, I get negative electric bills, which
Yep.
is so fun. And then in the winter, the credit disappears, but it's great.
And then we will sell the RECs. We'll create renewable energy credits, and we sell those in the New England market.
Yep.
You looking at me funny?
Exciting. No,
Different states require, more so Massachusetts probably the most, require companies to 20% of their energy use has to come. I'm just saying this, I don't know 20% or whatever, but like say just for math, an example, 20% of your energy use needs to come from renewable energy. So they don't have the option to create renewable energy. A lot of these places don't have the option to create. Some of them put solar farms, in open land, ground mounted, or put solar on the roof, so they meet that requirement. Others that can't, like in your city or something like that, they're like, okay, and they got all sorts of stuff on the roof, they can't do solar. They have to get that 20%. So they go out on the market and buy renewable energy credits. So they buy enough credits so they can say to the state, we meet the 20% because we're buying these credits from somewhere else. You follow me?
Yeah.
And the credits get registered. When we create them, they register, so you can't double sell them, none of that. So they sell those, and it's a revenue stream of estimated about $85,000 a year in the current market.
Yes.
Okay, one thing I wanted to chat about a little bit this evening is a plea to the public that we need some people to volunteer for the planning board and really for all the boards in Exeter. But we're at a critical mass at the moment in the planning board. We do not have any alternates at all. And we do have 7 members, one who is not going to be able to attend as frequently, so that seat may be coming available. But truly, if anybody's interested, come in and watch some tapes. Come to a meeting we have, and when we're open to the public, could speak about it a little bit. But I encourage anybody who thinks about it to talk to somebody, speak with the planning office. They're always there, willing to chat with you about it. And please make a consideration of volunteering and serving some of your town functions. And to me, this town, I'll tell you, would not run without volunteers. It's amazing how many different committees there are that are part of the government process and the town operation. So we need ourselves to help ourselves, and I make a plea for you to consider becoming part of that. Thank you.
And just to add that the applications are right on the town website.
Oh, that's
Under
right.
the boards and committees, the vacancies are there. Reach out to the town manager's office too, and the executive assistant, Pam McLavoy, will be happy to help. But yes, we really do need some volunteers.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, thank you. Second?
Second.
We stand adjourned. Thank you very much, and we'll
Thank
see you
you
out
for
in the
tuning
field.
in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.